Hey everybody, hope your day is going.
Yeah, today it's going to be really, really hot, even warmer than yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, triple-digit heat indices. It is that time of year again.
Yeah, it's going to be feeling above that 100-degree mark, and it's just, yeah, you said it. There's that time of year. We're in that summertime pattern. We got a upper level ridge overhead. Whenever we talk about upper level ridges, we're talking about heat. We're talking about
that typical summer-like weather pattern.
Yep.
Yeah.
So today temperatures are going to be really hot. They're not too right now, but it's definitely going up. Right now, mold, by the way, is sitting at a heavy level. So we're going to be watching that pretty closely today as well. Taking a look out across San Antonio, you notice we've got a lot of sunshine. That's something else with that upper level ridge that we talk about. We're talking about a lot of sunshine, a lot of heat. It's already 84 at the San Antonio airport. Calaveras Lake at 82 and 82 in northwest San Antonio. Blue sky in all locations.
Rob says, hot and dry, bummer. Well, at least I'm inside with a broken leg, LOL. Well, hope you feel better soon, Rob. Yeah. Rob also saying hello, and we have Jackie Hinton saying hi. Hey, Jackie, glad that you're joining us today. Yeah, so we're already heating up pretty nicely before the lunchtime hour. You were talking about this ridge building in over Texas, this ridge of high pressure, and so that's really going to be the culprit for why it's so sunny and why we're going to be under this dry spell for the next couple of days.
Yeah, so just be ready. That heat is going to be really settling in, but we do have some rain in the forecast, actually a good amount. That's not going to move in until the later part of the week, the weekend and early next week. You're going to see that here in just a moment. First of all, let's take a look across the region. I'm going to drink a little bit of coffee.
While you're doing that, Jackie also says the mold hits me super hard. I am also part of that. Mold always gets me, but I've been on top of taking my allergy meds, which is helping me through the days. So
yeah, the oak was
totally
getting me really bad. The oak, a few, I guess, last month, or I don't know, all the days are blending together.
I know.
But a few weeks ago, oak was really getting me pretty bad. I'm glad that it's calmed down and we've kind of moved out of oak season. It's hot. 82 in Uvalde, 86 in Carrizo Springs, 90 in Eagle Pass. Again, we're expecting triple-digit heat. They hit the triple-digit mark in Eagle Pass yesterday. They're going to hit it again today.
It's very humid out there, too.
It is.
So we have that tropical-like weather. We sometimes like to refer to it as the air you wear because the humidity is so high today. We're looking at dew points in the mid and upper 60s. Along the coastal bend, dew points also in the low 70s. So it's going to feel very muggy today.
Yeah, so just be ready for that too. That's one of the reasons why, when you add in that humidity, that's what makes it feel hotter than what it actually is. So even though we think the temperature will be around 98 there at 4 p.m., it will feel like 102, 103. Some
102 degrees.
Some areas like south of San Antonio may feel more like 108 today. I mean, it's going to be hot.
Enjoy the great indoors today.
Yeah, or find the river. Here you go down to the river and cool off a little bit. Practice that social distancing. Pools, rivers, lakes.
Yeah.
I know that where we live, we have an apartment complex here, but the pool is currently closed, so we're hoping that it can open up as long as everything's safe. We safety first, of course. Well, this is a weird era that we're all in, and we kind of all got to flex our schedules and what we can do and what we can't do. But once it's safe, I mean, that pool, the rivers, the lakes. I've got 2 kayaks that maybe we'll take out on our day off coming up here on Thursday.
And we have a few comments here. Sylvester saying, good morning, guys. Hey, glad that you're joining us today. Pete said, I would do a rain dance, but it's extremely hot and I might pass out and then wake up with buckets of water from people trying to cool me down. Totally get that. Was 99 here in Universal City yesterday. Jeez.
Wow.
Hot is good, should help keep help kill coronavirus. I will say one thing. I am definitely a fan of the cooler temperatures. So the cooler weather, I'm ready for the fall season.
Yeah,
for sure.
Same. I like the heat myself, but I don't like out of control heat. Around 90 degrees is perfect for me. 90 and sunshine. Because
with a breeze.
Yeah, with a little bit of a breeze. Then I can head down to the river, maybe head to the coast, have a great day. I like that. But when we start hitting the triple digits, it's like It's a little too hot for me.
Yeah. So looking at radar right now, a lot of us dry.
Yeah,
even
nothing
in,
out there.
Parts of Texas, very dry because of that ridge currently in place.
All across the Lone Star State, it's dry. A little bit of shower activity over towards White Sands National Park, the Lincoln National Forest. That's in New Mexico, the southern portion of New Mexico. That's where you're seeing that little bit of a blip of rain. But that's about it. The Lone Star State staying pretty dry right now, and it's all because of that ridge. Dry and hot for everybody, by the way.
But there's this lingering cutoff upper level low pressure system, right? And that's right over the Tennessee Valley, I believe, right? And so they're looking at some heavy rain parts of the East Coast up into Kentucky, Ohio, even Virginia, West Virginia. So that's where they're looking at pockets of off rain, and they're still looking at on and off rain over the next few days.
And you can see that spin right there. Now, we can't see it as well. We're working from home, of course. There's actually lag in our system. Everything's kind of glitchy as we see it. Y'all see it a lot smoother, and we can see it after a few minutes here on Facebook Live, how smooth it is. But there's a little bit of a spin there, and that's that upper level low Meagan was talking about. We also have this thing right out here. That's going to be now what is referred to as post-tropical storm Arthur. So no longer a tropical storm, still strong winds. Here's the thing with a post-tropical system, that just means that it's lost its tropical characteristics.
Right.
So technically, we refer to Sandy. Remember Sandy that hit the Northeast was a hurricane, but then we called it Superstorm Sandy. And the reason why is you have to refer to it as that, not Hurricane Sandy anymore. It lost its tropical characteristics. So it was a post-tropical system. And that's what Arthur is now. Now, Arthur not expected to cause any more concerns. The hurricane hunters, the Air Force 53rd Weather Reconnaissance that flies out of Keesler are actually no longer flying the storm because there's no longer any threats to the U.S. Soil and any of our bases. So they're no longer flying this storm. Of course, watching it, but it's not expected to cause any issues. So here's where the storm is and where it's expecting to go. It's expected to kind of dip down to the south over Bermuda, put down some heavy rainfall. Again, 60-mile-per-hour winds. That would classify it as a tropical storm if it's those tropical characteristics. But now we're starting to see it gain frontal boundaries, so like a warm front and a cold front type thing, which means it's no longer a tropical system. It's not vertically stacked. If you've been watching our weather classrooms at 1 p.m. every day, every Tuesday, we do Tropical Tuesday. We talked about the importance of vertical stacking for tropical systems if they want to remain healthy. So this is not a healthy tropical system and really strong shear. Thanks to that upper level low that's just off to its west, that's causing all the rain on the East Coast. And that's also what's going to keep it from being able to enter the Gulf. So we like upper level low.
Yeah, so wind shear really plays an important role when we talk about tropical systems, because tropical systems, they do not like wind shear. When wind shear is strong, it'll just really rip up that tropical system apart and also make it lean, so it's not going to stand up as straight. So it's kind of run into a wind shear, a not so favorable environment to support some additional strengthening. So that's why it has downgraded this morning into post-tropical Arthur now.
Yeah, so we'll continue to watch the tropics, of course, but nothing else really too much of a concern out there. Here's a look at the temperatures for today. 98 in San Antonio, but check out Cotulla, Carrizo Springs, Eagle Pass. We're talking low to mid triple digits. We're talking 103, 105, 104. It's hot. Uvalde could hit 101 today. Good day to head down to the river. It's because of how hot it is going to be. Just
have the sunscreen with you. Take the frequent breaks if you plan on working outside, and stay hydrated. Maybe avoid working out so hard outdoors during mid-afternoon. Probably save that for around sunrise or sunset today, I should say.
Yeah, whenever things start to get a little bit cooler outside.
Yeah, exactly.
60s and 70s to start off our Wednesday. Just a little bit of cloud cover, possibly along coastal areas, and then we move into the afternoon, and temperatures, well, they go right back up. We're talking possibility of triple digits, 90s to triple digits, possibly a brief shower or two closer towards Del Rio, but it's less than really about a 10% chance that those showers could actually occur on Wednesday. They are better chance, more of a 20% chance for Wednesday night. You saw those showers kind of pass through quickly, and then with or away. So it's about a 20% chance Wednesday night, but honestly less than a 10% chance for Wednesday afternoon.
And Rob, you said early hurricane season this year, maybe, question mark. I will say over the weekend, that's when, Arthur really started to strengthen, especially just off the east coast of central Florida. Now, the thing is we've had a tropical system form for the 6 years in a row. So this isn't really rare.
Before hurricane season occurs.
Exactly. Yeah. So the official start of hurricane season is June 1st. So we've seen, tropical systems form before June 1st, 6 years in a row.
And this is especially more likely whenever we have a frontal boundaries still moving through late in the spring. So what can happen is on the tail end of a cold front, there could be a weakness. And as the front stalls out, we could get a little bit of rotation if it's right over some warm water. And then the tropical system could form, which is similar to what happened here with Arthur. So not unlikely, it's still a possible thing. And something we're going to have to watch pretty closely this year for the summer, because we are shifting kind of out of an El Nino pattern. When we're talking El Nino, we're talking about some teleconnections there, forecasting. So we're talking about a worldwide weather pattern that is really kind of has to do with a upwelling of the currents in the Pacific. And as those strengthen and weaken, we move in and out of El Nino patterns, which actually impacts the weather patterns around the United States and across a lot of the world. So kind of a brief kind of synopsis of what El Nino and La Nina do. But yeah, we're shifting to a more neutral pattern that could lead to a more active season. We'll have to watch it closely.
Definitely.
So we move into Thursday afternoon, or Thursday by 11 a.m. This is as far as the timeline takes us. You notice a little bit more cloud cover, possibly a little bit of shower activity. And we are introducing rain chances back in for Thursday. You're going to see that in the 7-day forecast here in just a moment.
And so, Tammy, that answers your question as to when is it supposed to rain this week. Thanks. Hello to the both of you. Glad that you're joining us today. So you were just talking about how rain chances in late week, so right around Thursday.
Yeah, so Thursday is still a little lower.
Yeah.
Still a little lower for Friday, but as we head into the weekend and early next week, you're going to see those rain chances bump. Here's the amount of rain we could see starting Thursday through the early part of next week, because again, we're expected to be dry through Wednesday. We could see 1 inch to 2 inches of rainfall.
And that's important because it's Memorial Day weekend. We have Memorial Day falling next Monday, which is so hard to believe. I feel like time is just flying by. But if you have any outdoor plans, the biggest thing to watch for would be localized flooding, since some of us could pick up 2 inches of rain over the next 7 days. But also cloud to ground lightning. On our KINS 5 app, make sure you download it. It's free, and we have a free interactive radar available. So you could just watch any thunderstorms that try to move over Texas. And if you plan on taking the boat out to any of the lakes or a kayak, maybe go for a jog, just watch for the lightning.
Outdoor grilling in the backyard. I mean, it's going to be a little bit of shower and thunderstorm activity. So unfortunately, you don't want to see it on Memorial Day weekend, but it is looking like we could have some shower activity. This rain is important, though. Medina Lake is down to being about 65% full. It has been losing a lot of water. Canyon Lake is holding up fine. I think it's more than 95% full. So now, a lot of rainfall like this isn't going to be causing any flooding concerns for the lakes. We could have some localized flooding like what you were saying just a moment ago that we'll have to watch out for. But the lakes, as far as a flooding concern, not an issue because, again, Canyon Lake has a flood pool. So even if it did fill up all the way, which I don't think it will this week, it wouldn't be an issue. But Medina Lake needs the rainfall. So hopefully we can get a little bit in here to help fill up the lake a little bit as we move into the summertime, because, hey, we're all going to want to take the boats out. Want to make sure there's no issues of any stumps, logs, rocks that you could hit with your boat. Of course, boater safety is so important as we move into the summer months.
So our rainfall so far this month is still a little below normal. So we should be above about 2 inches at this point, but we're still right around 1 3/4 inches.
Yeah, but thanks to the rainfall we're expecting over the next week, I think we're going to be able to push ahead of that May average, and I think we are going to be able to finish the month of May above average. I want to say that since you and I got to San Antonio, this is going to be, honestly, maybe the first time in 2 years that we have had, because I was looking at some of the data, if we finish this month with above average rainfall, that will be the first time in maybe 2 to 2.5 years we've had back-to-back months of above average rain. I'm going to look that up, and I'm going to bring it to our weather update tomorrow morning, because we may be about to get above average rainfall if we do get it this month for the first time in 2.5 years, back-to-back months.
It's crazy.
Wow, man, that just kind of hit me that it's since April. Yeah, wow, that's crazy. So 2020, we're still behind just a little bit, but again, with that rainfall that we expect this week, that could push us ahead of our annual average for this time of the year. Remember, that's a rolling average, so it's going to go up as we go throughout the year. The average will, and hopefully the rainfall that we actually experience goes up as well.
And it'll be interesting, speaking of rainfall, we had that massive line of showers and severe storms that moved through on Friday evening to about early Saturday morning. So I'd be interested to see the updated drought monitor that's released Thursday morning to see if maybe it's gotten a bit better.
Yeah.
In some spots.
I think it will. I mean, especially with the rain that we had I think it was Wednesday, that was closer on towards Victoria. So, and then we had the rain that happened on Saturday.
Right.
So with all of that rainfall that we had, I mean, I think Eagle Pass, unfortunately, did not see a lot of rain. So unfortunately, Eagle Pass, I think the drought's going to really continue for you. But I think we could see some major improvements stretching from B County all the way through Victoria in this next drought monitor update, which comes out again on Thursday. So great news there. We'll have to watch and check it out. Here's the moment you've all been waiting for. The 7-day forecast. And there you see the higher rain chances in for Sunday especially, and then Memorial Day itself on Monday, 40% chance for showers and storms. And guys, honestly, that may get bumped up. We're going to have to watch that closely. If you have any outdoor plans for this weekend, Friday and Saturday are your best bets. So maybe take an extra day off before Memorial Day weekend on Friday, because that's when we're going to have drier conditions. Again, not dry completely. We still got a chance for rain in there, but drier.
Typically, when you see a 50%, it doesn't mean, A, everyone's going to see rain, and B, it's going to rain all day. So it's not going to rain, all day this weekend. So that's something to factor in. And, some neighborhoods and communities will stay dry over the next 7 days, but what we do know is that majority of South will be really hot and really humid today. So be careful out there. We don't have a heat advisory in place. We haven't reached that criteria because we have to have triple-digit heat indices and these temperatures to reach that criteria for a couple of days in order to have that heat advisory. But we're just giving you, a heads up to just be careful today. Don't be fooled. Even though we'll reach a high temperature of 98, we're actually going to feel like 102 degrees right around after. That's when you factor in our air temperature along with the humidity. That's when you get that feel like temperature, that heat index of 102. In fact, heat indices across the board in the upper 90s and triple digits today.
Yeah, really hot conditions. And you're going to notice two things in this 7-day forecast that are going to happen over the and you notice that over the next 7 days we have cooler conditions, slightly cooler, not necessarily cool, but temperatures drop and rain chances increase. Both of those can be attributed to the fact that that upper level high pressure, as we head into the end of the week and is going to shift out of our region, and we're going to end up seeing more rain and cooler conditions because of that. So kind of answers your question, sorry, my computer's making a little bit of noise over here. I'm going to turn it down.
And by the way, we have a comment from Janice saying good afternoon. Hey,
and she's watching from the Caribbean.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, send us some photos.
So we can feel like we're in the tropics.
Yeah, very cool. Thank you for joining us today, Janice.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at the Lonestar Forecast. The next 3 days will be fairly dry for a majority of the state. A little bit of shower activity there in the Dallas-Fort Worth region by Thursday. Again, we're expecting some rain chances ourselves. Rain chances will be lower Thursday, but we could see some. Notice the rain chances for Austin, so closer towards us. That I-35 corridor could have a little bit of rain. You notice the heat the next 2 days. And you notice that the trend that we're seeing with the temperatures going down throughout the week and rain chances increasing is what's felt across the entire state. And that, again, is because the upper level ridge will be weakening, not just for us, but for everybody. But 105 in Lubbock for today, I will pass on that. So let's look at the 8 to 14 day forecast past the 7-day. Again, this does not include the next 7 days. This is from day 8 through day 14.
So beyond, starting next Tuesday.
So above average rainfall would be possible. That's good. We could use a little bit of rain here and there. And then it looks like possibly cooler than average.
And we're kind of that bullseye in Texas. So the above average rainfall, mainly for parts of East Texas, but then central up into North Texas, all the way down into San Antonio, looking at below average temperatures.
Yeah, and
I'm a fan of that.
That'd be about mid to upper 80s.
Yeah.
So not too bad here as we head into next week. So I always like to look beyond the 7-day because a lot of people sometimes have some plans that are going to be happening in about 2 weeks, and you can't be as precise in the forecast when you get that far out. As you get further away from the day, your chances of getting that forecast correct go down. So when we get 8 to 14 days out, we can give you a probability, but getting it exactly, like if you had a wedding in 2 weeks and you wanted to know if it was going to rain, it's hard to predict that, but we can at least let you know what the weather pattern may be like.
But we've been seeing some consistency with trends outside the 7-day forecast with below normal temperatures and above average rainfall, which are hand in hand with one another. Typically, when you see more rainfall, you're going lower high temperatures. So I can see that.
Yeah, and tomorrow, if you maybe wanted to head out to some of the great state parks here in South Texas, here's a look at the forecast. Again, this is not for today, this is for tomorrow. So this is our Texas State Park forecast for Wednesday. Starting off in the 70s into the 80s by about noon, and then you see 90s for the afternoon, and everyone's staying dry. Should be a great day to maybe head down to some of the great waterfalls or rivers that we have at our state parks. Of course, you have Devil's River State Natural Area and near Del Rio. Pedernales Falls State Park, which is located, I believe it is, is it in, I know it's north of, or it's east of Johnson City. So we're talking northern Blanco County. I'm not sure if it's in Blanco County though, but it's between Johnson City and Austin. That's a great park if you've never been there. Lots of hiking. You can't swim right at the waterfalls, but there is a swimming area within the state park. Lost Maple State Natural Area. I know it has a river running through there, Creek and River. We have the Guadalupe River State Park. We've been there ourselves. Love that one. And just a lot of great parks to check out. Palmetto State Park, not far from San Antonio here.
We have Janice saying it's hot and sunny in my country. Yeah, join the club. It's hot and sunny here
too. Yeah.
Guess there's no difference there. Christy also saying, hey there. Hey, Christy, glad that you're joining us today.
But Janice, I bet it's a lot more here you are. I will say that.
Definitely.
So here's a look at the flu index. We love to look at this. Right now, only a couple states still reporting local activity. Louisiana and Maryland, both have local activity. But you see, let's say Delaware, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, Kansas, New Mexico, and Nevada all reporting no activity.
That's insane.
And you can't see it on the screen, but I think Hawaii is reporting no activity too.
That's good.
So flu keeps going down. It's the end of flu season anyway. But I'll keep showing this until Texas has no activity. Once Texas has no activity, then we'll probably stop showing that flu index as much. And then I want to also remind everyone that Cloudy with a Chance of Learning is still going on. We're intending to now do this all the way up through July. So
that's a big announcement. We're now going to continue the summer school edition.
Yeah, it's going to be summer school edition, and we're going to continue to do the teaching. Now, you did, I did it with you, but you did a lot of the research on it. That Solar System Monday stuff was really cool.
So we had part 1 all the way through part 4 of the solar system, and we talked about, the asteroids, the comets, the meteors, meteorites, meteoroids in the solar system yesterday. So if you happen to miss all of our solar system talks and you want to, look at the planets and also look at other different things in the solar system, we've talked about some really cool facts that I didn't even know until I looked on NASA and saw so many cool things, so decided to add it. But yeah, they live on our YouTube page, also our Kin Spy Facebook page. I think it's a little bit easier personally to find on our YouTube page because we have that Cloudy with a Chance of Learning playlist. So all you have to do is search Weather Classroom and you'll find it.
Yeah, and then by the way, the tropics are today. That's at 1 p.m. We're talking all about Tropical Storm Arthur, which is now post-Tropical Storm Arthur. But you know, it's we were going to wrap up Tropical Storm, the Tropics Tuesday segment last week, but since we do have a real life scenario that we can talk about, we're going to continue Tropical Tuesday for today. And I'm excited to talk about it there at 1 p.m. Meteorologist Meagan, Massey, and myself will be covering that.
Yeah, and then Wednesday we'll be talking about what causes wind, Thursday, speed of sound and lightning, and then Friday, that's the fun time Friday. If the kiddos have taken any notes or drawing any pictures, you know, definitely so we'd love to see that.
Yeah, and you know, what causes wind is pretty cool. I'm actually not covering that one myself. I think Weather Chief Bill Taylor will be covering that. But I focus, whenever I go do school talks, I focus my entire lesson around this thing causes wind. I say it drives everything in the atmosphere. It's a differential of something. So it's pretty exciting stuff. I enjoy talking about it myself, and that should be a fun topic on Wednesday.
Yeah, so join us. We're live 1 p.m. daily, Monday through Friday, and that'll be live on our KENS 5 Facebook and our YouTube pages.
Yep, but for now, guys, we're going to go ahead and sign off. Remember, hot and dry today, hot and dry the next few days. I'll actually go ahead and bring up that 7-day again before we sign off. Hot and dry the next days. We hope you have a wonderful one. Remember, rain chances in for this weekend, so plan those Memorial Day weekend plans around that rainfall.
And stay safe today.
Yeah, have a great one.